Hi, this is Keely Say with KeelySay.com. I'm an inbound marketing specialist, and we're here in the WECO building in West Columbia. WECO is a place where ideas are born every day. It's a co-working space where creative people congregate, creative things happen. Today, we're going to be talking about new media in the new economy, strategy inbound marketing. This is part one of a series sponsored by the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce. So be sure to tune in to the Chamber's Facebook page at facebook.com/schamber.net and the Chamber's Twitter account at schamber using the hashtag KSCOM to follow the discussion. Before we really understand the concept of inbound marketing as a strategy to approach social media, we have to really look at what traditional outbound marketing is. And outbound marketing is really what we traditionally think of as marketing. We've been screaming from the rooftops for years on end, look at me, look at me. We've been paying for attention in newspaper advertisements and TV ads and radio commercials. We've even spent tons of money designing and writing and printing and mailing direct mail pieces in hopes that we will generate business. And for a long time, that has worked, and it still works. And I don't think that traditional outbound marketing is ever going to go away because brand awareness is key. But as consumers in today's economy, we are empowered to choose the information we consume. I mean, if you think about it, I personally don't read the newspaper because I get my news for free online. So I'm not exposed to newspaper advertisements. I'm not even really exposed to television commercials because I have an Apple TV or Netflix. I listen to my iPod that has 2,000 of my favorite songs on it, so why would I listen to the radio? Even baby boomer audience is moving more and more away from some of these traditional styles of media and moving to choosing the information that they consume. So as marketers, what are we left to do when our audience is moving away from all of these mediums that we've always been able to get their attention with? And really the answer is inbound marketing and new media. If you're not on Google, then you're not getting found. And in today's environment, if you're not in social media, then you're probably not in Google. So it all goes back to the foundation of getting found online. But we have to change the message. We can't scream, look at me, and expect people to subscribe to our information. We have to repackage that content and literally give away bits and pieces of our information without giving away the farm, but giving it away in the form of white papers or webinars or viral videos. Today's marketer has become really in part an educator, an entertainer, or even someone who inspires controversy. Really, we have to either make people laugh or give them something of value so that they're willing to actually subscribe to it. To drill down to the basics of inbound versus outbound, inbound marketing it typically uses new media such as RSS feeds and blogs and search engine optimization, and outbound uses traditional media. Now again, that's not to say that an inbound message can't be advertised in an outbound traditional medium. Certainly convergence is key, but in today's economic environment, not everyone has $1 million to spend on a huge advertising campaign as well as an inbound marketing strategy. But inbound is a pull method where we're literally placing information out into the marketplace and pulling our target audience in. We are strategically placing it in areas, whether it's on the internet or in advertisements, that will pull them in with a call to action. Whereas the traditional outbound approach is more of a push approach where you're distributing your outbound message to the masses And inbound is permission-based. So the days of screaming, sign up for my newsletter or donate here are really moving away, and it's more of a call to action that includes download this free piece of information or join us for this free educational event, rather than calling me up on my cell phone while I'm in the middle of my day job trying to sell me on something. And then finally, inbound marketing costs time, whereas outbound marketing costs money. You're paying for the attention with a newspaper advertisement, whereas you're earning the attention of your audience with an inbound approach. Inbound marketing and social media can get really confusing because there are a ton of social networks out there. Nobody really understands the Google algorithm because it changes and they don't really tell us exactly what they're looking for, but we pretty much know that Google is looking for new content, depth on your website, and activity online. And so in order to get found, we have to do all of those things. And inbound marketing is really about just three things. It's about getting found or driving traffic to a website. It could be driving traffic to a Facebook page. But once you drive that traffic to that website, the second thing that we really want to accomplish with an inbound marketing strategy is converting that traffic into a lead. And then finally, we want to analyze the results so that we're constantly looking at what's working and what's not, so that we can do more of what's working and less of what's not. Digging a little bit deeper into those three concepts of inbound marketing, the first thing that we want to do is build that online media presence. But we want to build that presence not just in social media, but on our website as well. And we're going to develop that content and share that content in all of our social networks, publish and promote it everywhere. If it's a video, we'll publish it on YouTube. If it's an audio file or a podcast, we'll publish it on iTunes. If it's a presentation like this one, we'll publish it on slideshare.net. If it's pictures, we'll publish it on Facebook and Flickr, so that we're getting that content out there into all of these networks that's all pointing back to this website. First things first, we have to establish a social media presence as well. Anyone and everyone can open up a Facebook page or a Twitter account, but really engaging in those networks is key, listening and engaging. And after this first initial presentation in the following series, we're going to talk a little bit more about exactly how to listen and how to engage and go through some steps that you can take in your business to do that. We want our website to be the hub of all activity. So all social networks are pointing back to that hub. So if we've got videos, we want to publish those videos on YouTube because YouTube happens to be the largest search engine next to Google. There's more searches in YouTube than there are in Bing and Yahoo. And so we want to take advantage of that SEO capability of YouTube, but yet when we're promoting our video in our social networks, we don't necessarily want to be pushing people out to YouTube. We want to be pulling them into our website. So we'll take that YouTube embedding code and put it on the website, and then that's the link that we'll promote, still utilizing the SEO factors or capabilities that YouTube has to offer, but still also pulling that traffic with that content back into the website. And it all comes back to search engine optimization. If we publish an article on our website and promote it in social media and only 2 people see it, that's still kind of okay because Google is sending out what they call spiders, and they're crawling our website. And so even if nobody in the entire world sees it, Google's going to crawl it, and Google's going to realize that you have more depth and new information on your site. And the keywords are certainly key on the website, but Google has given away some information about their algorithm, And what we do know that they're looking for is inbound links or recommendations and traffic. So in other words, if you have CNN.com linking to the state chamber's site, then that's a huge boost in your search engine optimization. If you have little old KeelySay.com linking to your site, then that's great, but it's certainly not as great as CNN.com because I'm certainly not as popular as CNN. So we're looking for recommendations. They're looking for traffic. So the more traffic that we generate to our site and the more people we have linking to our site, then the quicker Google is going to rank us up on that top page organically. And of course we can pay Google to put us up on that top bar as well, but we want ultimately to strive for organic growth. The next step in that inbound marketing process is to convert that traffic into a lead. And again, we do this by giving information away in the form of white papers, tip sheets, free downloads. And I actually talked about a text message conversion campaign in that article in the last business magazine, which was for the state farmers market, for the Harvest Society. And in 1 week's time, we were able to capture over 2,000 cell phone numbers for people who subscribe to the Harvest Society. They text Harvest to 313131 in order to receive text messages from the farmers market talking about what's new and fresh coming into the market. So with these conversion campaigns, we do have to have a landing page to kind of shield that free information that we're going to be giving away, because we want to capture some kind of content that we can use to nurture those leads. But even if it's a conversion campaign to try and drive new Facebook fans, we still have to have a landing tab and even a third-party application software, which is for another and later more detailed webcast. But we have to have a landing tab or landing page in order to provide a gateway to that information. And then we want to feature that conversion campaign on our homepage, and on real estate within the website or social network. And then finally, the third part of the whole inbound marketing process is analyzing the results and driving traffic growth, channel optimization. There's all types of things that you can do to even optimize landing pages and landing page conversions. We certainly don't want to ask for 10 questions if we want people to fill out a form in order to access a webcast. We don't want to ask for your annual income and require that field. And we might not even want to ask for a snail mail address. We might just want to ask for first name, last name, job title, and email address. But we're constantly looking at analytics, whether it's our Google Analytics to see what our traffic growth is, how many visits we've had, what our bounce rate is. If we have a landing page that has a high bounce rate, and a bounce rate is simply when someone goes to a page and then bounces right off without staying on it. If we see a high bounce rate on a landing page, then we know that we need to go in and optimize that landing page to make it more easily accessible and maybe even more just more interesting with a different call to action. So analytics will be able to drive our other communications as well, and our other communications will still be driving traffic back into that hub to our website. We covered a ton in a very short period of time about inbound marketing, and it can easily get overwhelming. And so what I've come up with is a simple process. We have to crawl before we can walk, and we have to walk before we can run, and it's kind of the same way with inbound marketing, social media, and communications. So the process that we're going to be talking about in the next few series of these webcasts is how do you actually listen and engage and get found. And so the crawl process is really focused on that first inbound marketing goal, which is to get found. The second follow-up series that we're going to talk about is the walk phase, that then really digs deeper into that conversion process. And I have some case studies that I can share with you guys that talks even as far as into lead nurturing. And then finally, analyzing the results. And this is when we can really get up and start running and analyzing traffic growth and again, taking a look at those case studies and seeing what's proven already to work and what's proven not to work. So we have some very strategic things that we're going to be talking about in the series to come that will arm you to go back to your businesses and fly on your own. So let's take a look at a case study from start to finish that covers the entire inbound marketing process, from crawl to walk to run to flying on your own. Talk About Giving is an initiative developed by the Central Carolina Community Foundation to encourage multi-generational conversation about philanthropy. We worked with Riggs Partners, which is an advertising agency here in Columbia, to develop this website to build awareness about philanthropy in the community. So to drive traffic to this website, one of the first things that we knew that we needed to do was develop a blog and a master publishing schedule so that we would constantly be feeding this website with content. And this is the home page, and you can see that we're actually pulling the blog content straight into the home page because it is such a central point for this type of campaign. And we regularly develop content and publish it on this blog to drive traffic. But one of the things that we knew that we also needed to do was develop an online social media presence. And Facebook, being the largest social network in the world, was our first stop. So we developed a Facebook page, but we're not publishing content on the Facebook page just to try and get something out of people. For instance, we are micro-blogging other people's content as well as promoting our own content in the news feed. You can see this is featuring the latest blog article that Talk About Giving is published. But as you read throughout the news feed, there's a lot of other content sources that we're referencing that link to articles that are just interesting and relevant to our target audience, because we want to share information about philanthropy that other people are doing as well. And the more we share other people's content, the more that positions us as a go-to resource and an industry expert in the field of philanthropy and giving. But you can't expect an entire population of people to just automatically be attracted to a Facebook page. So we developed a campaign to launch our social network called the Talk About Giving Summer Grant Giveaway. And I'm sure you guys have seen different Facebook pages have contests and sweepstakes, and they have a landing tab, and you can enter sweepstakes to win an iPad or enter a contest and vote on photos. Well, in this particular case, we, working with the Central Carolina Community Foundation, took $2,000 that would have been given away to nonprofits in the Midlands anyway, and we turned it into the Summer Grant Giveaway. So during a period of about a month, you could submit your nonprofit, as long as it was a 501c3 incorporation within the geographic area that we had targeted. You could submit your nonprofit as a nominee. And once we received all of the nominations, the Central Carolina Community Foundation drilled down into the top 10 candidates and developed a list of finalists that were then presented to the Facebook community to vote on. And at the end of the campaign, We built our Facebook reach from literally 0 to almost 1,100 people within about a 6-week period of time. We also created a Twitter account because Twitter is a fantastic resource for content, not to mention that it's one of the fastest growing social networks out there. So on top of the 1,100 people that we attracted to on Facebook, we have increased our social media reach on Twitter to up to 324 followers. And certainly, we do not want to forget about YouTube, because YouTube is the second largest search engine next to Google, as mentioned before. But with YouTube, what we did with this campaign is we repurposed content that was already being developed for the blog and for the Facebook campaign. And we took graphics and copy and repurposed it into YouTube videos. So as you can see, this YouTube video was not rocket science to develop. We repurposed the graphics and the copy that you saw within the website and within the blog and within the Facebook campaign, and literally just pasted it to some music in the background. So with each one of these videos, it adds more depth to our website, because we're able to take these YouTube videos and embed them into the website. And throughout the campaign, we're able to monitor our results through analytics. You're looking at Talk About Giving's Facebook analytics from March until about August 10th, which is about the time that we were wrapping up that initial campaign. And as you can see, we were able to sustain a very high level of growth, and we're spiking in different areas. And so as we were going through the campaign, we would look at our spikes and we would go back and correlate those spikes to the activity that was going on our pages, and we would continue to do more of what was working and less of what was not. We also were able to take a look at our Twitter analytics to make sure that we were on a constant level of growth, and YouTube analytics as well. And then finally, we look at Google Analytics, which tells us exactly how many visitors are coming to the site and where those visitors are coming from. And one of the things that we noticed, not only were we able to start garnering a pretty high level of regular visitors on a daily basis, but we were also able to see where they were coming from. And given the fact that we launched this campaign through a Facebook fan drive, it wasn't a big surprise to see that our second top referral source happened to be Facebook. And our third was Google organic searches. We're even able to see what people are Googling to find us. So had we not launched on an effort to get found online, and not only get found on our website, but to first try to get found on Facebook and to convert that Facebook traffic into Facebook fans, because we're now able to pull those Facebook fans into our website and further drive more conversions by taking the pledge, which is simply signing up to say, I take the pledge to talk about giving within my own family. And if you do take the pledge, we happen to get your email address, and we'll continue nurturing that email address into a long-term advocate. If you're not interested in taking a pledge, then we have another call to action to play the game, to inspire families to talk about philanthropy and talk about charitable giving within your family. So you can see how we've taken the practical application of this process and put it to work through the Talk About Giving case study. We built a website and developed a blog publishing schedule to continuously develop content that would drive traffic to the website. We developed a conversion strategy to drive traffic to Facebook and convert that traffic into Facebook fans. And all along the way, we were analyzing the results through Facebook Insights, YouTube Insights, and Twitter Analytics, and ultimately monitoring our Google Analytics for website traffic and visitor growth. And once we completed the run phase, the client was ready to fly on their own. A lot of people know about Google Analytics. Google Reader is an RSS platform, RSS reader. Hootsuite.com. ScreenFlow is what I'm using to actually record my voice and the screen that you're seeing right now. Animoto.com is a wonderful video editing software program that's free online. You can literally take pictures, and I see a lot of people do this for weddings. You take pictures of you growing up, the girl growing up and the guy growing up, and then you plug them into Animoto, and it cranks out a music video that features those pictures. Cartoonme.com is where you can actually send in a picture of yourself and create an avatar. I have an avatar, which is a cartoon version of myself, and Cartoonme does a really good job. So it's kind of your online persona. Websitegrader.com, you can plug your website into that and see how you fare with regards to search engine optimization, and even compare it to other websites or other competitors. Twittergrader.com, and even TwitterCounter.com, it's not on here. Wufoo is a free form builder, and then extranormal.com, you can create online cartoon type characters that you can customize and even use your voice or a computer generated voice to create a skit. So there's just a handful of some interesting little bookmarks that I've kept over the years, and you can actually find more at my Delicious bookmarking page at delicious.com/KeelySay. And there's a ton more resources that are tagged but with keywords. Twitter Tools is a bookmark that I've got tons of resources that you can pull from. That's all I have for you today. I am going to be answering questions on October 11th at noon on the South Carolina Chamber's Facebook and Twitter pages, so please tune into that. We'll also be doing follow-up webcasts on new media and the new economy, digging deeper into the crawl, walk, and run phases that I've covered here today. But if you have any other questions, you can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and pretty much any other social network out there. Just go to KeelySay.com, and all of my social networks are linked right there. Many thanks to the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce for having me here today and for providing these learning experiences for all its members.